What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Wired Wednesdays. And as you guys can see, I did forget my comb and hairspray on this adventure to Melbourne, Florida today. I'm welcomed here with Dave, the veteran miner, of course. How you doing, Dave?
What's going on? How you doing, Vistang?
Another day in paradise, Dave. I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat real quick.
Okay.
I can't pronounce your name, the first one. Any news about FLUX proof of useful work? Actually, Dan in the Hobbyist Miner just had a really good live stream. I suggest you check that one out. I was tuning into it a little bit. Dave, were you tuning into that one?
I just saw a little bit of the end of it. I was having dinner and we were getting prepared just now, so I'll look into it.
You a lot. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The workstation, the Dell workstation that you did, Hobbyist Miner mentioned that he sent it over to you and you got it working. So.
Yeah, it's going to be. Right now, we have a major piece that's being tested right now, so we can use that for a future build.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. We got Goat in here. Geek of All Trades, what's up, man? Jeffy, of course. Mr. Flux, how you doing? Sorry, I'm reading off my phone today. Claus Crypto, what's up, man? Mass Boost. DJ Mines, what's going on, man? Crypto Craig, what is going on, Craig? I always mean to text you. I'm sorry, it's been a crazy couple months, but how is everyone doing today? Today's been kind of long for me. I was on the phone with Dave for an hour and a half today, actually. So
wasn't counting. I think it was like 2 hours, Mike.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was one of those days.
Yeah.
Let's see. Goat said, GPURisers, hurry up, slackers. We want a show. Okay, we'll give you a show, Goat. Mining Kiing is eating dinner. That's great. Thank you, King. Thank you for updating us. What are you having for dinner? I haven't gotten dinner yet, so I got to do something here. I literally rushed here from the data center, and I have that hotel internet. So if it cuts out, let me know. I was trying to send Dave the StreamYard link, and then my Discord had to update. So it's been a fun day.
A little hectic, but you're there.
Yeah.
How's the place that you're staying at tonight? Is there anything?
Yeah, got seashells on the wall and rocks and everything like that. So
is it the same place that you usually stay at, or no?
I think so. Usually, usually I'm at this hotel, but a lot of the times when we're doing these streams, it seems like I'm at an Airbnb with King. So usually it's like a home, but today, yep, in the hotel.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, I drove up a lot of stuff. I met Mike. Yeah. We have a customer today who he's a current customer. He has a lot of like mining rigs and a lot of stuff like that, but he's getting into like the vast AI and proof of useful work and everything. So he's actually building like pretty identical rigs to the vast AI rigs that I have. It's actually the same case, the same motherboard. It's pretty much identical. It might be a different EPIC processor, but it's dual 4090. So I've been building 2 of those today, and then Jared sent over some servers from Arizona, so I put some of those up and everything like that. But it's been pretty productive. So you
gonna show some pics on those once you build them, or?
I think did Mike put one on Twitter? I texted him a picture of it. Actually, I can show you guys from my phone. I know it's not perfect, but
if you I don't know if you send it to me and then I could take it and put it in Discord or something. Maybe
actually no, I didn't even take a photo of once I got it out. No, I didn't take a photo. I'll take a photo tomorrow because I'll be there. But yeah, it's like 2 Corsair 7000D cases, I think, like those big full ATX, giant cases. Fits like vertically, like 420 millimeter fans. So, yeah, you sent like 20 knock to a fan, so I installed about half of those. And then we got your cables in, Dave. So
good.
Yeah, we got I think 20 cables in. So 2 for the CPU on each, and then 8 for the 4090s. So
you need the 2 for the CPU though, just because of the current draw. So,
yeah, with the EPIC boards and everything like that.
Yeah, those EPIC boards.
So that's what I've been doing today. But the real reason why I'm up here, which I probably would have been up here regardless, or maybe Mike or something, but I'm actually moving the GPURisers warehouse out tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a long day. But yeah, my lease is up in 6 days, which is crazy. So
wow.
Yeah. And I have probably about like 9 or 10 pallets that have to get moved. Luckily, Hot Crypto is going to meet me there, and he's going to help me with all that. And then we actually have to pick up some ASICs from, I think, Orlando. I think it's Orlando. We have like 25 L7s coming in, so we got to drive it from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, then back to Melbourne. So it's kind of crazy. And then we got to wrap it all up and freight it from Melbourne back to, not back to, but to Kansas. So it's a lot. We got a lot of different stuff going on. But
I think there's a message. Take a look at a message on your phone, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully you can be able to see that. I'm trying to facilitate this right now. You just want to get that situated. That's pretty cool. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can get a link. Okay.
Yep.
I know I just did the link, but oh, geez.
I gotta pull the chat up. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have my usual 8 screens here. But yeah, if anyone tuned into the Hobbyist Miners live stream with Dan, it was really interesting. Jeff Key, GPURisers check DM Discord. Yep, I got it, Jeff Key. Jeff Key, thank you for the $2. It's more than the 13 cents in Geek All Trades. But Mining Kiing is DMing me. Look at this. I'm so popular today, Dave. So popular.
You're very popular today. That's what happens when you're hosting, you know? You're very, very popular. So you got to be prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
For all the good stuff.
But yeah, hectic day. Tomorrow's going to be hectic. Friday's probably going to be kind of relaxing. Friday, I'm just going to hang out at the data center in the morning and kind of go through, finish one of our customers' 4090 rigs and everything like that. So do that and everything else. But we got someone in the background here. I'm going to bring him in. Someone very famous. So let's give it all to Mr. Jeff Key. What's going on, Jeff Key? How you doing?
Famous? Man, not that famous.
Jeff Key. I saw you commenting on the live stream with Dan and...
My bad. Don't worry. I'm back.
Oh, it's all right. Jeff, we have technical difficulties between me and Dave probably every 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's the norm, though, so that's okay. Everybody knows it already, so...
Oh, so you guys watched the Hobbyist Miner and their cigar thingy?
I only got a little bit piece of it, unfortunately, but I'm going to watch it later on. So maybe you can
I had
us
the list
a little
to
bit.
Dan, like in case the guys ask you questions, here's the answer, so you have it all in case they ask anything.
Yeah.
What does he do? He just reads it.
Yeah, I saw him. It's better sometimes to stick to the script.
But he did read some things not correctly though. So
okay, what was not correct?
Well, he was saying that we would go straight off with AI. Not everybody's going to be straight into AI. Just be. It's not because you flip on your computer that all of a sudden you'd be doing AI. No. There's a little bit to it. But other than that, I think most of it was correct. So. Yeah,
it was interesting. December 15th, right? That's like the big day. So it's going to be. I saw you commenting a little bit in the chat. Windows and then Linux is going to be later, right?
Nope. That's one of the other things that was incorrectly interpreted. So Linux, yes. So from the start, you can do Linux.
Okay. Is it going to be like like an image that you can actually install right on the machine and just have FLUX OS, FLUX core just go straight on?
You just install Ubuntu as it is, or your flavor of Linux. But we've been mostly testing with Ubuntu.
Gotcha.
You can use Debian or Debian.
Is Sorry, Jeff Key, is there a certain version of Ubuntu or it doesn't matter? Just install it.
I've used 20. I've used 22. I think I even had one on 18. I've been using SUSE or SUSE, whatever you want to call it again. So there's a couple versions out of Linux that I've tested on, that we've tested on.
Okay.
But, Red Hat, I don't have a license for Red Hat, so I haven't bothered with it, but I know some of our folks out there, consumers out there and / providers, they will have Red Hat, so I need to still check in on that.
Okay.
But there's so many versions and flavors of Linux.
Oh yeah.
So I've been focusing on the ones that we've already used with FLUX before. And then
I would say just make a type of standard and just say, hey, just use this. Or maybe two different ones, and that's it. And just say, hey, what's to make.
We want to be as flexible as possible, right? So
yeah,
I still have to test with a couple other things. I still have to test with Hive OS and how it responds there. I got work to do, but I also have other work to do, so busy.
Sure, it's real been easy every day. You have your list gets smaller and smaller, right, Jeffy?
Progress, but at the same, it's like, but every time Dan goes on these streams, like one thing gets taken off, but like 5 other things, like somewhat I see added to my plate, right? So,
yeah.
Or they need attention now or require more attention, so it's always fun.
Yeah, it's exciting though that people are going to. I guess Dan mentioned that you will have like customers right off the bat for proof of useful work.
Yeah, we have some customers already lined up, and they're very much aware that this is an early start, so they might not have the full gambit of cards available to them. We're totally fine with it.
Yeah,
I personally see it as an alpha release, where with the AI piece, the mining and the benchmarking piece, that's good to go. But the AI piece is more of a it's a slow release that we'll be doing.
Yeah,
there was a big thing that I saw before I had to like switch over for our live stream. Something about AMD cards, huh?
Yeah, AMD can do AI as well. Might not be as efficient at the moment as NVIDIA
but it's an
is.
option though. That's key.
But
it's going to be an option.
Are folks out there who want to use AMD for AI, and
that's pretty cool
capability.
Yeah, it's a huge thing right now. I don't know any other platform that utilizes AMD.
Well, rendering is a big thing, so you can use AMD for rendering. But
that is true. Yeah, I'm thinking more of like the actual like I'm so used to like Vast AI and like TensorDoc and like all these other like, you know what I mean, like these actual like platforms that are just for that. But I always forget about these other ones they kind of utilize it as well. So, but that's interesting. I mean, what do you see like performance wise? I mean, obviously NVIDIA is going to be a little bit like an advantage, right, compared to.
Well,
AMD?
I'll be very honest. I've been purely focused at the moment for NVIDIA. We want to make AMD available for the mining piece already and get that rolling. But I'll be very honest. AI is focused on NVIDIA at the moment.
Yeah.
Any conversations with potential consumers, they only ask for NVIDIA, not one. And even if I suggest AMD, they're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, what a monopoly, right? You know, I mean, NVIDIA has like no competitors for this. It almost seems.
No. Yeah, well, I mean, it's true, actually.
Yeah.
It's
even the big boys use mostly NVIDIA, right? So
yeah.
So yeah.
You have compute cards that are designed to do what we're doing. We're using we're using regular GPUs to do like let's say a 4090, but you have A6000s, like that was designed to do this. The 4090 can do it, but an A6000, A4000, or whatever the case may be was designed to do that. Even A2000 was designed to do this type of compute power.
Well, and then there's the grid ones, and then you still have so we have Team Green, Team Red, and then Team White is out there as well with the Intel GPUs. I don't know if they're staying in it, so that's why I kind of pulled everybody off of Intel for now to see because I don't want to spread us thin either. So Intel will definitely not be out for the release if people are wondering. Again, Team Green is kind of hogging most of the AI world at the moment.
Yeah,
it's true.
The Mining Kiing is asking about Radeon 7s and higher end AMD, like the Instinct lines.
Well, if he has cards available that I can use, then I can try. But
yeah,
I don't have every card out there, or the team doesn't have every card out there.
Yeah,
and like I said, the focus has been on Team Green for now. AMD is being made ready in case we do have people who want to utilize AMD. We have people who want to provide AMD, but we need people who want to use it too. And so far, no, I haven't seen anybody really asking for it.
Yeah. The Mining Kiing is also asking, is pooling or clustering available December 15th? King, I gave you the link. You can hop on, but I'll keep reading it over.
I gave him the link too.
The organization piece is going to be available, but the full-blown clustering altogether, no, I will not make that available from the start.
Okay.
No, I want certain pieces will be enabled, and other pieces will come online as you go. You'll, for those who have seen the software, some of you have, some of you haven't. There is an option to auto update. Not auto update. There's a pop-up will come up saying, "Hey, there's a new version we want to update, and then as you update, you'll see other pieces come online, other modules become available. So yeah.
That's gonna be a fun one to kind of see.
It's a slow all-in-all release, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the components are probably available already, and some of the things that people will want to see are probably available, but they might not be made available for everybody to utilize straight away.
Yeah.
So there will be an opt-in opportunity, or you might get a pop-up from us saying, "Hey, we would like to utilize you for AI. Are you okay?" It's going to be an opt-in solution, right? So you're not going to be straight away automatically doing AI. And the reason we do that is just for you to make sure your setup is good. You benchmarked everything. You're ready to go. If we make you straight away available, then you might run into, oh shoot, I overclocked too much, and we're out. So slow and steady is my motto at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's going to be somewhat a little bit of a validation process, little by little, to make sure that we're okay on our end and you guys are okay on your end, to make sure that everything is going to be cohesive and be good to go.
I don't know how many people will jump on this, right? So if that's 10 people, then it's 10 people. If that's 100 people, great. If it's 10,000 people, for all I know, we need to make sure we're all good on our end. So nothing goes bad. It's all controlled. Again, I like to control these things, and I've done plenty of go lives in my career as an IT person. Whatever I can control, we'll control.
Yeah, that's something we've been kind of like doing at Terra too. Like I think we have like an introductory thing for like AI/proof of useful work, where it's 25 cents a kilowatt hour, which sounds expensive, but it's really not in the data center world. Our actual rate's going to be much higher than that for like these guys that have like 9, 10 card. A6000, A5000, 4090, those kind of rigs. But we've been kind of like easing people in, right? Like to test the network, making sure it's not overloaded, and do it at a small sample scale before you kind of like blast it out to the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So it's a smart thing to do, kind of test it out, test the waters before going full bore with everything, and kind of adding. Is that kind of what Flux is doing? They're going to be adding like features as they go and like implementing things. Yeah,
we literally made the software modular, so we can add pieces into it every time we do an update. There might be another piece coming online, or you have an option to do something new. That will of course be displayed in the update information. Yes, there will be update information right there, right then. So no need to go look on an announcement page or anything like that. So. Lesson learned from other products that we have, and again, ease of use.
Yeah. Mining Kiing is saying, Jeffkey, what about the reliability? Will there be like a banning for a too low of a score? Because a lot of these AI platforms, if your reliability goes down, you'll get like unverified, or you'll get penalized for your income.
I'll be very honest. I don't plan on banning anybody. We're going to have to figure out what we want to do. I might actually put out a question to the community, what everybody else feels like, what they think. But let's be honest, like if a lot of stations become unreliable, everybody kind of suffers from that, because that makes us all look bad. So I don't know. I still have to figure out what I really want to do. We are going to start capturing it. But we have to also take into account that you guys might need time for upgrades, updates, reboots,
almost like
patching,
stuff.
Whatever, right? So there needs to be some leniency. It's on the lower end for me at the moment as a priority.
Yeah. Okay. Hobbyist Miner, hey girls, how you doing, Hobbyist Miner? Good to see you.
Yeah, I was correcting everything that Dan said now, so...
I was seeing the 20 ounce IPA. You're a brave man, Hobbyist Miner. Brave man. It was a triple IPA, 20 ounce. I don't know. I was listening to Dan a little. I'm more, like Mining Kiing. I like the light beers, but I do enjoy a nice tasting beer every so often.
I'm not a fan of North American beer so far.
Yeah.
I still have to find one that I'm like, really, ooh, that's really good, but not yet.
Do you guys have anything like, I don't want to say in stone, but like for like fees, right? Like Vast AI takes 25%, which is a lot. But I mean, what are the Flux fees?
Is it a lot?
I think I think the reason why it's 25%
There's the answer, Mike.
is there's no competition really for them, right? It's like an open marketplace, but Flux is going to be a direct competitor to that.
So it's lower one, as I said on the presentation at Cypherpunk, there will be a couple tiers actually. So if you don't have to do KYC, which is fine. So if you don't, there will be a higher fee. If there's KYC done, you'll get less of a fee, and then if you're an institution, you even get even less, because then also,
What about like total amounts of compute? Like if you have 2 4090s compared to 100, would 100 4090s get less of a fee, like a service fee charged to them, or is it kind of like flat across the board? I guess does that combine with like the pools and clusters? Like if you're part of like, okay, it's the same across the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now it's flat.
Gotcha.
Start simple.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of go from there and see.
It's a flat. So basically, it's going to be a flat fee for one GPU, even 10 GPUs. It's going to be one fee being on the network. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I think that's how it is now across like a majority of these. Of course, everyone wants lower fees. Everyone's like,
so Craig, is that pronounced Youngling?
Yingling, I think.
It's Youngling, but it's Old Dutch. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
It's Dietz, I think. But yes, I have not tried it. So I will definitely try it. Kind of curious if that's how you pronounce it. Youngling?
I think it's Yingling, unless I've been saying it wrong.
I've been saying Yingling since day one, so I don't know though. I mean, that's just...
It's an ooze. I don't know.
But
I never heard anybody say Youngling before.
That's what it means, though. But anyway,
yeah.
How many ports needed for proof of use to work? I don't know. I would have to look.
How many ports needed?
I know one. 180, but that's just for connecting to the dashboard on your rigs. So IP semicolon port. Yeah. And then of course. Will there be other ports needed? There might be, but I don't know from the start yet.
Okay.
That'll depend on the AI piece again. What I want to do, and if there's a need for outside communication or not.
You're going to say, like, because you're not 100% sure if we're going to need any type of port forwarding on our end yet. Mm-hmm. As of right now, no.
So far, we've built it that you don't need to.
Right, because we're using your system, and we're going into your system, and your system is what's distributing all the information back and forth through the system itself, through the program.
Yep.
It's not going to be like what we're doing with Vast or anything like that. Vast is a totally different animal.
Well, Vast uses Docker, right? So
yeah.
So it's the same as FluxOS, basically. What you have to
I heard Docker and ports, and I saw King in the back, so I was like, he knows something about this stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Hey, how you doing, Davey?
Good. How's it going?
It's going all right. I'm in the process of remodeling the studio, so apologize for the echo. And I don't have my hair all slicked back like this thing does, so.
Oh, I don't have it either. I forgot my comb. I forgot my hair spray.
We're not going to do our hair day. That's what today is. We're good. We're all good. Yeah.
So exciting day, December 15th.
Can't wait.
Day.
Yeah, depending on who you ask, though, if it's an exciting day or not. Some people in the team are like a little nervous, but it's all good.
You can just take the day off,
I'm taking the day off. I already put my vacation in for that week, so.
Yeah, exactly. Just go on a cruise and turn your phone off the side of the boat. Yeah.
That support channel on that day is going to blow up like nobody's business.
Where's Jeff Key? He's on a cruise. He has no reception.
Yeah, I'm going to go ice fishing on some lake up north or something like that. With no cell reception.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, King, I saw you had a couple questions in there. I think we answered most of them.
Yeah, I was, me.
Just poking around.
I always have questions when Jeff Key comes around.
I put my my order in. Hobbyist Miner is paying for my second month, so I put my order in to just FYI.
Okay.
Have you also filled out your node form in the client backend with all your information?
No.
How am I supposed to make your node?
I think we need better instructions on how to because it's a good PDF in the back end, but we should just have like a system where it automatically, like when they order it, it should just email it to them.
I had no idea, so
I'm also the guy that
I just went back now because I had no idea. So.
Yeah,
I'm not the web designer here. Okay, that's not my department.
But yeah, King, I missed yesterday the live stream yesterday. I was out, but we're doing free nodes, I guess. Terra just is a nonprofit now.
Okay, well, hey, I'm not the salesman, nor do I set those policies. I just bang on the keyboard and plug Ethernet cords in. That's what I do. All right.
Well, what is the it's the first month free? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what everybody decided on. The first month is free, and then the following month will be the
everything
price.
Is free. King doesn't get a paycheck. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you got free FLUX, a free node. Is that?
No free FLUX. No, that's not part of the.
You get free FLUX? Let me get
Sign
more
me
nodes
up.
then.
I'll take 20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I bought a bunch of Cumulus nodes. So try it out.
What's the code, King? Is it free?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the stream because I didn't.
I missed it yesterday. I was told afterwards, so.
Yeah,
I didn't make the code, so I definitely
maybe Hawk has
it.
Maybe Hawk's in the stream, so maybe he could put the
have
code.
One of our clients, though, or of our current clients at Terra, he stood up 6 Stratus nodes today, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's real cool.
Good.
Yeah. We're having to order
FLUX
more
free
epics,
node.
so.
There was a code. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, Hawk put the promo code in. You can pin it up there, this thing, if you want. It's in the chat.
Yeah.
YouTube chat.
It's a FLUX free node.
FLUX free node. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it wrong.
But yeah, we had a customer spin up 6 of them, I guess, and so I thought this new Epic server was going to last for a while because I'm the one that I get the invoice for it, and I'm like, this is expensive. This will last a long time. And then now it's like, okay, we got to order a couple more of these things, but yeah, we're filling it up there. We got the internet, we got the power, and it's been like long 8 months, right, King? Every month his beard gets longer and longer.
What? No.
I'm just joking.
I need a haircut again for sure, but I just haven't had time for it. So I'm prepping the room, or I was, and then I started building some more nodes. So
what's going to be different in the Mining Kiing studio? I know you're doing the floors.
Yeah, I'm already done. Well, I'm done with the floor. I just have to do the quarter round. But yeah, the floor, she's all done.
Oh, you're in there now. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have anywhere else unless you want to hear my kids screaming and yelling right now.
You put vinyl in or what?
Well, ambient sounds.
Yeah, it's a vinyl plank. Yeah, vinyl plank.
Same here.
It was right up my alley. It was $2 a square foot. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that me and this thing we agree on. This guy at Lowe's was like, man, you could get this really nice one. It's like, $3.99. I'm like, I like that one right next to it. That's half that price.
He was probably trying to upsell you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Can't upsell the king, that's for sure.
But I mean, even to do one little room, it was like $400 in just plank, right?
Yeah.
That didn't include the, I don't have a lot of my tools down here like I used to when I did construction like 20 years ago. So I bought a vinyl cutter and I bought, the mallet and everything to do it all. So it was pretty good. The closets, cutting in the closets, that took me a little time. I broke a couple boards cutting it in, and it took me a little while, but
you got to shape it, right? Like around the
yeah. Like the first one it's not that good. The second, the other edge is actually really nice. Came out really good. So yeah, it takes a little bit of practice, but
what about the walls? Anything on the walls? Or is it going to be like on the walls behind you? Are you going to kind of do like the same layout?
So I got to take down I put all this like adhesive stuff for those foam pads. Those sound things, those cheap sound things I bought. So I'm gonna scrape that off, and then I'm gonna paint the room, which I'm getting ready to prep.
Okay.
I had all those marks. That's all from the adhesive. Yeah, that was fun. Not really. So I'm prepping that. I'm going to tape it off tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go buy paint. And Detroit Irish is trying to talk me into doing like actual quarter round, like cutting it, and not just like my carpentry skills are just ass. Like I would rather use the peeling stick personally, but if I ever sell the place, I'll pay someone to do the quarter round for me, do nice carpentry work because I'm not that good. So So, any other things you could leak to us, Jeff Key? Come on, Dan had his turn to leak, right? He had his time to shine. He's done now. Now it's your turn.
Well, Dan was just drinking up and smoking cigars, so he was just loose. Like, oh my god, dude. Oh well. You guys any questions? Like any things you guys are not clear on? Things that he missed, or you guys think he missed?
Is the install going to be just like a script, so you can just do like an install.sh and it'll just download and do all the dependencies for you, or you're going to have to one line? That's pretty easy then.
Yeah, I thought we could make it more convenient than that, but no, one line. Can't make it easier than that. I'm looking at it right now, actually.
Will it have something similar to the multi-toolbox or something like that in the?
Not from the start, but I can definitely see something like that being developed if we notice certain things that people are missing, or certain drivers that are not always available, or things that we assume is always on Linux that might not be there. I definitely see the 15th and then the week following that there will be either changes in the guides, changes in the install process. We've been using this so far, no issues. Every time I give this to somebody, they seem to be able to do it. Dan was able to do it, just not to put you guys on the spot if you can't do it, but if Dan can do it and you can't, I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like, when people say VAST is too complicated, I'm like, man, Hawk does it. I'm like, Hawk can do VAST.
VAST is not easy, though. Let's be honest. VAST is not an easy install. There's a lot of, but if you follow the guide,
there's definitely a lot more steps to that, and I definitely got a cheat sheet from somebody who built a lot of dependencies and really refined their installation process. So that's why I was kind of curious if you guys were going to do something like that.
It's just a one-liner, a curl script. You go, and at the end of the day, it'll say, "Go here. This is the URL," and you grab your iPad, your laptop, whatever's connected, your Windows machine. And just go
and just log in and just log into the IP address. Nice.
Yep. It doesn't ask for a login or anything. You have straight access to your machine. It might still say installing CUDA or whatever based on the cards it detected.
Okay.
And there will be
Is there going to be a limit of how many cards it supports, or no, or will it support as many as you have?
Whatever you want to do, you do. If you figure out a way to do 40 cards on a machine.
There's not going to be any port forwarding right now. I asked that question too, if there's going to be any port forwarding, but as of right now, he's saying that we're going to be using their system, and we're not going to have to do anything on our back end and our infrastructure for this to work for now.
Okay.
So I have not received any questions from any providers or consumers at this point that say, "Hey, we need a certain port opened." If that is the case, here's what I think will happen is that because in the marketplace there will be the three ways of doing things. There will be us offering you certain things AI related, and text to image, text to sound, or whatever. Those will all be available, so people can play with their FLUX and do these things. And then somebody else will take that job and that will run on their machines. Another thing is that some people will just say, "I want all of these machines. I want them for me," and then off they go. And then the third one, that's the one that I am really looking forward to, is the one where the consumers will actually post a job, and then you can sign up for it. And in that posting, I can see, for instance, that they say, "Hey, we require certain ports opened, and we need this port for this port for that." I can see something happening like that in the description or in the requirements. But for now, so far, nobody that I've talked to requires anything like that.
Okay. Is it going to be Dockerized then, or no?
So backend works with Kubernetes. You can run Docker on Kubernetes. You can use Containerd. There's a couple other ones out there that you can utilize. So there's options. But it is more secure than because we're using what the government uses for their Kubernetes installs, which is our key too. So that's what we'll be using as well. And the beauty of Kubernetes is that we can actually use Kubernetes to actually integrate with other potential providers out there if we want to, like back and forth, for instance, and then we can tie into their network and we bring people together that way.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
So a big question, obviously, everybody wants to know. I know you said that it's not going to be a 25% charge like Vast is charging, right? So you have something in the works in that. And then what about the payout? It's going to be all different between everyone because of what they have to offer, right? Mm-hmm. So you have that, you're building that infrastructure right now to let us know before the 15th, or are we going to be letting everybody know, hey, this is the pay scale, or this is how it's going to work, or you're going to release it the 15th and then we're going to work from there?
So there's a couple ways, right? Like, again, there's the 3 offerings that I talked about. Like, there's the one where you get a job posted and that's it.
Right.
And you get paid out. There will be the marketplace where you guys set your own prices, like Fast AI, which in my book is the worst thing you can do, because there's always some idiot who goes way lower just for the fun of it.
Right.
And then everybody suffers until somebody takes that thing, and then his reliability probably drops because he was joking. But I think the third one is where people will probably do most work, is where you sign up, you agree to a price for a certain type of card, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could have pricing for certain cards and everything else then. Is that what you're saying?
The customer will do that. They'll say that they need X amount.
Yeah, let's say I need 100 3070s, and I'm willing to pay X amount of dollars for the job. And then you decide if you want to do it or not. So supply and demand. Literally, this is our demand. This is what we're willing to pay. And then you guys decide if you want to do it or not.
So what you'll do is that if you need, let's just say, for argument's sake, I'm just going to say an example. You need 100 3070s. I have about, let's just say, 20 3070s. So I could be part of this cluster that you were saying, that we can cluster these GPUs together. So if someone's looking for 100 3070s, it's not like the King and Vistang, my friends, we're going to do it all together. I could just do it with random people as well to get a piece of that pie. Is that how you're going to structure it?
Both.
Okay.
You can sign up as a company and go in, or you can do individual.
And then you guys will just start putting everything together to make that fulfill that customer's needs.
Yep.
Okay. So there's a lot of things going on.
It is not an easy thing.
No, you guys got a lot of, I mean, there's part to say a lot of shit going on.
Well, most of it is automated. So most of it stuff is automated, so that we know who you are, who's who in the zoo, hashes and all that. So when you rebuild your rig or you put new pieces in, there might be things that break that hash, so you might start from scratch. Just FYI, just don't forget that. But you can do, if you keep everything as is and you put new stuff in, you can just rescan the hardware and then do a new benchmark and present this as new. So there's other ways of thinking. But yeah, in the end, it's all going to be supply and demand.
Yeah.
So there's definitely demand.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's supply as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to, from the ground running, December 15th, we're going to get into this.
From the ground running, you're going to start with the mining and the benchmarking. First is the benchmarking. We want to see who's who in the zoo, what is available to us. And then we'll showcase that to our consumers that are ready to go. And then we're not sure how we want to start straight off. Do we want to start off with them picking the machines as they go? Or do we want to start straight off with, set up your jobs and we'll have people sign up. And then there's 2 ways too. You can sign up yourself straight away if you want to. It doesn't mean you're going to get straight away AI work, just FYI.
Right.
Or if we see people bringing their machines online and they don't sign up, and we see, look, we have a demand for these machines, you might get a message popping up saying, hey, people are interested in your machine, are you willing to join?
Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, wow.
That
I
is
never
really
seen
cool.
that on any of the platforms where it's actually, you guys are going to go in and if there's a high demand, you guys can send messages to people to notify them that, hey, maybe you should check out this.
Yep. Check out the news board. But it's not like a spam thing, right? So I don't want to freak out people like, hey, we're going to start spamming you. Oh, the newest deal is out. Buy a FLUX watch now. Like, no.
100 windows on there.
No.
Max Voltage would like that, though. He likes his windows. So
yeah, he likes tabs. He loves
those tabs.
No,
sorry, Max.
I'm in the same boat. I think it's our age. We never close anything down, it seems. I got like 10 Brave windows open with each at least 10 tabs on it. So
why don't you just like bookmark stuff? I don't get that.
Tabs, I don't know. I'm a tab guy too. Really? I mean, I don't do as many as Max does. It's just so easy.
I drag one tab out and then have yet another window, and then here we go again. So
it's so funny because I had so many tabs open. I think it was today. My son comes into the office. He's like, "Why do you have so many tabs open? Like, why don't you book? Like, it's just like you said it, King. Why don't you bookmark?" I was like, "No, I need my tabs so I could just tab it." He's like, "It's just a waste, Dad." I'm like, "Just leave me alone." What do you
Most of the things that I use on a daily basis, you know what I mean? Especially since I do like a lot of like IPsec tunneling to Florida, I just type all the IP addresses. I remember everything right here. I don't need tabs. I am.
You are the tabs.
Listen, you're the tab. I need the tabs. It works. Everybody has their own way of doing things.
Oh man,
it's exciting then.
We'll be able to underclock and overclock as well too, right? Which is like kind of a new feature in the AI world.
Well, is it?
At least from
like
my experience.
We'll offer it
from our experience. Yeah,
we'll offer it from the start so that you can do it if you want to. You don't have to do this, by the way. You can just leave your machine as is, and you work with the default settings. But we all know that these things get really power hungry at times when they sometimes don't have to be. Okay? I'm looking at U3080 Ti's, and I want to offer the option. If it's not needed, and if we notice that people don't use it, then maybe we'll scrap it at one point.
But obviously, though, if they underclock too much and if there's a performance hit on the card and you don't offer the same compute levels, you're obviously not going to receive the same reward, right?
There is a good chance for that. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You need to, again, you decide. Like if you, we want to give you the option. You don't have to do it. If you want to do it, so be it. But I don't want to come into the situation like, oh, it's using all my power all the time. I wish I could have brought it down. Well, in Windows, you can fire off, Afterburner. In Linux, it's a little trickier. In theory, you can still do it. As NVIDIA-SMI, and then put all the commands in there, and off you go.
I hate doing that, by the way.
Me too. So I asked for a GUI, like, hey, make it as easy as possible for me, so I don't have to worry about all that stuff.
No.
So that's been, but yeah.
Yeah, I had an issue when King was helping me. He was like, "Don't you update your graphics?" So I was like, "Dude, this is yeah."
I've already fixed Max's network tonight. Okay. So.
I was like, you copy and paste, and I was like, I copy and paste everything, and I just not paying attention to what I copied and paste. He's like, you just got to do this, and I was
like, you need to pay attention to what you're copying.
I know it was something so simple that was just basically making the GPU just all crazy and erratic, and I'm like, Jesus, it was just
it's
so simple things that can just make everything just go haywire quick.
And for me, what's important for me as well is that it needs to be easy to use. I like Hive OS, but if you're not too familiar with it, it can be a curve, and trying to find a guide somewhere, and then it's on it's out of date guide, or it's not the latest software version or something changed, and people struggle with that. So we want to make it as easy as possible. It'll still be a challenge. Don't get me wrong. Like there will be the advanced mode, and I see Bitcoin just hit 36,000.
Nice.
But yeah, you'll have options. There's a simple option. I want to use this coin, this pool, this wallet address. Play, and then it just mines as is, and it doesn't set any settings. And but you have the option to tweak as you want.
I'll throw that up here while we're talking about it a little bit. But
do you think that a pay penalty might be I guess a better solution to keep people at 99% or higher?
There's a lot of things that are still being discussed at this point, which I will not dive too much into for the penalty piece. I don't want to scare anybody off, but at the same time, like I said earlier, if the reliability of everybody goes down, or for a few people goes down, kind of hurts everybody that's trying to use proof of user work, right? So it basically hurts those who are doing everything they can to be as reliable as they can and all that stuff. There is some discussions if do we want to penalize on reward structures, which is something that mining rig rentals does, I believe. They penalize on the payouts, or they'll straight away cancel you. There's a lot of options that we have. I'm not going to say which one is my favorite at this point. I'll say that. Yeah. I have my opinion on a couple things. But...
It's this is kind of like where I think a lot of miners, they I don't think they understand the need for it though, so they like when I do TensorDoc was way more strict than Bass, right? One reboot, you take a 5% cut. Second reboot or a short power outage or internet outage, you're at 20%. Third reboot or another thing like that, 40%. Another one after that, they kick you off.
I would get kicked out in 30 days.
That's also the other issue, right? So as much as like I said, we're all in it together and make sure that we provide the best service.
Right.
But on the other hand, if you start kicking people, at one point you will not have a service anymore.
Right. Exactly.
So there's going to be
a give and
take on where we want to, and it's a fine line. Like, let's just say we have a lot of discussions on this. So
I know the miners though. Some people just let their mining rigs go off. When I get home from work 10 hours later, I'll just reboot it.
Yeah. Well, those people. That's not gonna fly. Like, I'll be very honest. Like, you might not have the best uptime, because we keep track of your uptime too, right? So there's uptime and reliability. If I bring it up on the screen, you would see that my computer has an uptime of 14 days? That last time I checked. 9 days.
Nice.
Now, I have a quick question. Have you guys ever encountered? I just encountered this. My service provider, and I don't know, King, maybe you went through this too. My service provider did an update for the first time from what I'm aware of since I'm on VAST right now, right? My internet went out for 45 minutes. There was nothing wrong. I know it was an update.
Just because the way on your internet or
the internet. So they pushed an update through the service, from my understanding. It didn't just go down for 45 minutes. I think they were just doing an update with the service itself, with the infrastructure.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed, as long as the rigs, now check this out, as long as the rigs on VAST do not lose power, they just lose internet connection, it'll go down, but it'll go right back up to the regular number in a matter of hours.
Depends on the job you're running. So here's some of the AI pieces to it, right? So if you're running a job that's mainly on your computer and it doesn't have to send out data anywhere, at that point, if you lose your internet, nothing bad happens in theory, because the job is still running, computer's still going. But if it does need internet, at that point your jobs will fail, and then you will
start from square one.
You're basically not helping anybody out. So there's different ways of doing things. There's interruptibility, where you want to basically be able to, because VAST has two options, right? There's the direct and indirect.
Demand and interruptible.
Yeah. So basically, what that means is that whoever uses the cheap solution, or the inexpensive solution, let me say that way. That one you can disconnect, or people have to build into their work that rig might go down. Period. If you do the other one where you commit to it, well, now you're committed to it. So if your internet provider screws you over, well, that's too bad to say for you, because now that other person that you're renting your machine to is basically the victim here. So they will not be happy with you. So we even have options to like, and it's not implemented, but it's something that's floating around. Is like Airbnbs, for instance, where you can have a score to the host and to your consumer, right? So he who rents the Airbnb, he gets a score at the end of the rent, and then he who hosts somebody who gets a score and a comment and all that fun stuff. So we even talked about that one so you can get a better score, and a good score would basically lead to less fees. So there's options like that. We have options on how we want to tackle it, but we haven't really done too much yet. Let's just be honest. I'll be very honest. We're testing, making sure that back end is properly working. Any gotchas that we're finding, that we're tackling those, and meanwhile the guys are working on the front end, on the core solution as well. And then on the other hand, something that wasn't discussed too much with Dan today was the marketplace itself, right? So all the work that goes into that, setting all that up, job postings, being able to pick people, connecting the dots. If I pick this guy here, is it the same person here? Making sure that communication works fine. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. I got a fun build. I think I'm going to start off with proof of use will work on December 15th. So
I've been doing it with little nano machines. Because I think it looks cool. I don't like ASICs, but like the little Jade one that I brought to Cypherpunk. I don't know if you guys saw it, the green box. Looks like a little ASICs box, but it's just a mini PC with a 3060 in it.
That's the fractal one, right? The Terra fractal, right? That I've seen back there, right? Yeah.
That thing is really cool.
Yeah, I think I will have a dozen of those things, and and because they don't use much power. You can fit a full-blown GPU in it, full PCI lane on it. So I've been really thinking of like doing something like that, like an entire rack full of them.
It's those mini EVGA power supplies too, right?
Yep. Yeah, like it's tiny.
When we did the build,
SFX power supplies.
Yeah, when we did the build, I was like, "What the heck?" You know, they're saying 650 watts, and like the box is like this big, man. Like, how is that even possible? 650 watts. Meanwhile, they're supposed to be this size.
The one that I'm using has
it's nuts.
I think it's crazy. 750.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just like the components, they're getting smaller and smaller as time goes by.
Well, you don't need much anymore for that's a nice motherboard. You don't need much more anymore for a disk, right? It's just an NVMe these days. CPUs, I use stock coolers. They work just fine, so they don't take much space up either. You really don't need much money to put up a nice, decent little rig.
Say that again. You don't need much money. Okay.
But meanwhile, you have
This thing has $1,000 motherboard.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have just one question, King. I was going to send this to you earlier.
Here we go.
This, I think, with the Threadripper, what was it, like a 5955 or something like that, or one of those. But you could fit 7 A4000s on this, right? At full PCIe lane speed.
If they
I'm assuming
wide enough.
It's just it's a one slot, but if you load this up with 7,
this is the problem you're going to run into those A4000s. If it's not in a server case, how the F are you going to cool that thing? That thing is going to melt. I was gonna at Terra, their data center, I was just gonna duct tape it up to the vent at the top. You're just gonna get some ductwork done, just bring it down, and just.
Yeah, I was gonna put it in the ductwork at the top.
Oh, in the ductwork, okay.
Put it in an Octominer.
I think it would be 1,000 watts for 7 of them. I think they're 140 watts each, so I think there was like 980 or something like that. I don't think it would get that hot as long as you're moving enough air, but
you could retrofit that into like an Octominer or something like that. I know I could make it happen probably.
No, well, actually, I've been bugging this thing. He still hasn't looked into it for me about that one motherboard I sent him to go talk to his contact about.
Yeah, I do have to look at that. Yeah,
I do believe I have a solution for Octominers, but it is going to be, you're going to have to cut your case a little bit. There's going to be some retrofitting, right? but I believe I found a solution for octominers. It's going to be Gen 3 though, so if you're using like 30, I wouldn't use 3090s, but it'll be great for 3060s, right? Because it's gonna be Gen 3 lanes.
You mean you wouldn't use 4090s? You would use 3090s?
No.
Gen 4?
Well, no, because
because
these are Xeons, right? So they're an older generation, so they're going to be PCI generation 3. So you don't.
I mean, that's going to be.
You could use 3090s, but I mean, I don't know.
That's going to be perfectly fine for proof of use of work, though. As Jeff Key, that's the man right there. 3.0 is more than enough. Type X16.
Well, right, but I mean, the card can saturate more than Gen 3, though.
Right. I understand the technical aspect on it.
Because it's all about
you can get away with a Gen whatever 1X, but your benchmark might not be as high as somebody who comes in with a Gen 4 with a PCIe 16.
Okay,
right? So
when it releases on December 15th, I'm going to do a comparison video with a 3090, okay, on a Gen 3 lane and a Gen 4.
There you go. If it's the same, you have your answer.
Yeah.
Nice. New video coming soon, December 16th.
It should be a premiere. You should do a live stream. You should do a live stream.
Hey, man, I'm a one-man show.
I will invite some people, by the way.
No, December 16th, King. That's what you got.
I see there's not too many people watching tonight, but there will be an option, by the way, to sign up earlier than December 15th.
Okay.
Links in the description, guys. I'm just kidding.
Where should we be on the lookout?
What's the early sign-up date?
That will be that will all be announced.
Okay.
I don't want it announced. I want it in my Discord. Slide into
or
my
I
DMs.
might, if I might just invite certain people. I know there's a lot of people who already reached out to me, so I might be just reaching out to certain people, except for Geek of All Trades.
Oh, he got banned already before he even started.
Yep.
Jesus.
Reliability 0. Yep. He's watching. No, he stole my USB stick the other day, right? Like he just.
Oh.
Oh.
No, it's all good.
Some sensitive docs on it.
Yeah. He just he rocks around conferences with a USB stick in the hopes that I put software on it. And that's why he didn't mind this from.
Why is this USB stick in my computer?
Yeah, exactly.
Malware on everything.
Just doing a video. Well, good. And this is the good step in the right direction right now. That's all we've been wanting to hear, honestly.
Well, you might have noticed I haven't been on streams that often, but it's just too busy.
Just couldn't get you on for nothing. If we needed you, you were gone.
Yeah, I know.
But I know.
Full disclosure, the guys did ask a few times to come on the stream. I'm like, sorry guys, I really don't have time.
Yeah.
So Homebrew has a good question here. So he has a bunch of these H110s, right, which only have one slot. That's a full slot. Is there any options for people with mining rigs? I know that their benchmark scores will be low, but is there going to be work at all available for like, the times one slots or no?
It's just going to be a lower benchmarking, like he was saying.
Well, no, I understand that, but from an AI and compute level, though, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Certain pieces of AI don't need the full bandwidth lanes, right? So,
right.
And think about Dynex. They don't use more than 1x.
Right.
So there's definitely options out there as well. What I personally am thinking of doing, and this is me, so take this with a grain of salt, but I will be using my motherboards with the X16 slot on it. I will put a card on that, and then I will use my old school risers for the other X1s out there, and then I'll combine the two, and then the 16X I will make available for proof of use for working, and the other one I will just use for mining. So I'm going to do both basically on one rig, because you can set each GPU separately.
Oh, I see. Because some motherboards have they have some that are just only X1 and some that are full lanes. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it depends. Like for instance, on a like X470, right? You can't get to X16 slots on a whatever Ryzen 9 or whatever the case may be, right? But you could get an X16 then an X8. So then you could differentiate those two, from my understanding, right?
You pick and choose. So you choose which one goes on the useful work and which one doesn't.
Yeah,
or
that would only work, Dave, if there wasn't an NVMe, because the NVMe also takes 4 lanes.
To take the NVMe out.
4x, right? NVMe.
Yeah, because if you have 16, that's 24. That's the full amount of the Ryzen. So that's the one bad thing with consumer boards is the limited connectivity, right, for the lanes.
Oh my God!
It's like down the line, right? Like with FLUX Core, once this is, like an image that you just install, kind of like Hive OS and everything like that, or you have integrations with Hive OS. It's kind of like, why not, even if you're on 1X in an Optiminer, why not have, POUW enabled? And then if that's more profitable, it'll pull you off of whatever you're mining and onto the project, right? And then switch you back.
Yep.
Why not always just have it enabled if it's going to be more profitable?
So I always pushed Hive. In my case, I had like Frankenstein rigs, and still do actually, with NVIDIA cards on it, AMD cards on it, and then I wanted to mine multiple coins at the same time. So I think at one point I was doing like 4 different coins on one rig, which is kind of really pushing that thing.
Yeah.
But totally fine.
Yeah.
Have you guys looked into triple mining or dual mining? Is that going to be something you're going to be able to do or no? Or
yes, there is a custom option, so you'll be able to basically set your own thing, so that you can, you can just custom mine. What is it with FLUX and ZIL, for instance? If you want to, you'll be able to do that.
Nice.
We'll have pre-made things, so you can say I want to do FLUX and I want to do thing, and FLUX will use this card and ZIL will use that card. If you want to combine the two, you can have the option to do the custom one.
Yeah.
And then you can set whatever parameters you want, that Lone Miner offers or Z Miner offers or whatever new miner that comes out, or miners Mini Z, sorry. And you do you.
And you're gonna be able to like add your farm, like kind of Hive OS, right? Where you can like transfer your worker to a different farm and.
I can give my worker to King, and then King can manage my stuff if I want to, and I can audit him and see where he was failing to get the miner going and such.
I think that should just be in the back end of FLUX Core, right? That it just automatically goes to King. Everyone who signs up, King, then he can just manage it as a whole dashboard. Just
King's mining services.
Yeah, managing and validation, right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's kind of the idea, right? So, like you said earlier, King, is that if people they're at work, their mining rig at home is down. I had options back in the day already with smart power supplies to reboot the machine and all that, and I used things from Mining Rig Rental back in the day as well to text me if my rig went down. The idea was that I was renting out my machine.
Yeah,
I just set the price so high that it was always never rented out, until one time I had somebody actually use my machine at the high price. Still don't know why. Anyway, but you had text messages at that point, so that's all possible. Even text messages in FLUX Core if we want to.
Okay. I was going to ask something like about the webhooks, like Discord or something like that, to ping you in Discord or something.
Not from the start, but that's actually a good idea. I should write that down, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, I do use that a lot with all the nodes that we have. Just
I use it too for nodes like that. But yeah.
So, I mean, but FLUX Core is going to have an iOS and an Android app, right? Like down the line. So would you get like push notifications as well?
Yep, you'll be able to control your rig from your phone.
Nice.
Or rigs.
Yeah.
Depending on how big you want to go.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Let's see if I missed anything over your
damn. I literally was just looking in the chat trying to.
I just homebrew crypto. Did you read that?
I'm all done right now. I'm done. I'm
homebrew crypto. He's funny.
Yeah. There will be.
This is exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see the rollout, and it's. I know you guys are working behind the scenes a lot. I know I bug you all the time on Discord, like, hey Jeff, what's going on? Anything new? And no, it's awesome seeing everything come to fruition here, and I'm super excited for the rollout.
It goes both ways, right? GPURisers. I reached out to you guys as well, like even today. I'm like, hey, I need X amount of servers for Titan.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Hey, that's a good text, Jeff. You can text me every day and I will be happy as a clam.
I bet.
Yeah, then I have to message King over there, like, hey. But now we have more Epic servers on the way, so we're building out, and it's exciting. So.
Yeah, I still have to bring those other 10 online, so that's going to be a job for me for the next few days. Anyway.
Hey, actually, I have a question about that, because you don't have to answer on a live stream or not, but since we're here talking, it'll make it easier for you. But I don't know if it works this way, because I don't know how the Titans operate, right? I know that they're essentially a Stratus, but so I create like dummy nodes, right? I create them in advance. This way, when people buy them, I just have to replace the information, right? And have.
I'll give you all the information. You can do it for me. Thank you.
That's not what I meant.
That's what I read. That's what I heard. I'll give you all the information.
Oh,
thanks, King. Appreciate it. This was a really good conversation. I appreciate it.
I mean, all right. If you want to do it that way, Jeff, I could do it for you. Okay.
I know you would. I know. It's all good. It's all good. What do you want to ask me?
But no, can you pre-make them, and then that way you can just go back in and do the identity keys and everything, and then just have the node re-benchmark? Because that's what I do.
Yeah, you can do that. I know that's what other host providers do as well. They just set them up, and then here's a trick that not many people know. You can actually set up 2 servers. So if you ever have an issue where you're like, I need to basically bring something else online, you have one node up and running, you set up your other node with the same identical things, and then when you want to flip over, you start the other one and take the other one down.
Yeah. Moving.
And then
nodes.
you can and you can also just revamp the information on that. So.
Yeah. It's easy to move the nodes like that. Yeah.
I saw one question from NTL Crypto. Can you use an Octominer and use 8 different cards on different jobs?
Oh,
yes.
See, that's a good question, because maybe he has certain cards that are good for. Maybe he has some NVIDIA and some AMD. Could he potentially only be used for one job, or could it be spread out amongst the cards, right?
Mining wise, you can do different 8, all different. Job wise, I would have to think about that one. Don't want to give the wrong answer either. So I'm going to hold off on that question.
You asked a good question.
Yeah, you asked a good question. I'm going to have to talk with the guys tomorrow. Maybe I just call Alex right now. It's the middle of the night. He can answer the phone. No, I would have to ask him, because in theory, I think we could, but at the same time, might be a technical limitation on the software we're using. I don't know how Kubernetes is going to do with splitting up the cards right there, right then. It's a good question. Good question. Thank you.
Because we're testing out something. I think it's the E10 by Octominer. That's on the way over to Melbourne. And what we're going to do with that, I mean, we're just having fun with it, but we have a bunch of these random cards, like 3090s, 3080s, 3070s. So I guess with FLUX Core, we just load the whole thing up with these random cards and assign different things to different stuff, which is kind of nice, because when we were like thinking about putting this thing on like Vast or something like that, and Jared, jump in if I'm just butchering this, but we would have to like like if we had like 4 3090s and 4 3080s, we would have to split the machine in half into like 2 different VMs, right? And then have
that's already what I was thinking as well, but I don't know if that's then you have overhead too.
That was going to be my next question. That actually, another question is, what is system resources like? What's its use like for Flux Core, right? Versus Linux versus Windows. And then to go back to the NTL question, could he not just set up, I guess, another instance of Flux Core and just have it separated?
No, you can only run Flux Core once on that station, right? No, I don't want to give the wrong answer here, so for once I'll abstain on the answer. I normally answer every question, but this one I don't want to give the wrong answer here.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I have some architectural ideas on how I would do it, but I don't want to give you guys the wrong answers.
Do you have? I'm assuming also you have to have IO, MMU, and the SRV and like VTD, all the Intel and AMD virtualizations enabled in your BIOS.
All enabled, yeah. There's no other way around it. That's something that's needed.
Okay, you guys might be able to do that because then I don't know how FluxCore works, but at least in Proxmox you can do PCIe pass through, right? So this way you could have it in different instances.
FluxCore uses the OS as it is. So whatever is presented to us is what we take in and present back. It's a very specific use case. So again, I'm going to hold off.
Okay.
All right.
So I have one more question, Jeff Key. So you'd never mentioned anything about storage. Are we going to need any type of storage on our units to do any type of work for the future, or
the answer to the question? I'll let Jeff Key answer though.
Or is that going to be something that's going to be implemented later on?
Storage is required, period.
And what would be like a minimum amount of storage that you would say that would work for the average user?
Well, I'll be very honest. Storage is not the cost anymore, but
that's my guesstimate. But I just want to know, like,
if you have at least a terabyte available, that's a good start.
That's a starting point, basically. But
you can do it. You can get away with less too, but certain AI jobs will require you to download a lot of data. Just FYI. And then it needs to be on fast disks too for that point. But we can do larger disks too, because I talked with Alex on this a few times. And larger disks with just spinning disks are great too for the large data sets. So let's say you're doing something medically, where you have to download all those CT scans or all those X-rays. They take up so much space. And then they have to be processed and then shipped back.
But you're saying that it doesn't matter of the speed on certain projects?
Certain applications require certain speeds for your disk. So you will need things to be downloaded, and that has to be transmitted to your GPU. So the faster your disk, the better.
Right.
But again, it's all use case related. We're not focused on one particular AI piece here. Right, it's an infrastructure play. It's not we're good at this type of AI. Whatever fancy word they invent and then put AI behind it. We're not doing that. We're basically providing the infrastructure so that those guys can utilize us. So yeah, it doesn't really. I'm running these on 500 gig SSDs. So far, I've been good, but I haven't really pushed these systems to the limit either. Let's be honest.
Okay. I guess it's also one of those things where it's like if people are like trying to get a bid for their job, they might have a minimum requirement for it.
Yes. So they will set like, hey, you need at least a terabyte. You will need at least, or you need access to this S3 hard disk or provider or something like that. So there will be requirements that they will put out.
Gotcha.
But if I would do text to image, and I want to do a silly thing like we did at Mining Disrupt, for instance. What was it? Moose in the Mountains that I did. Doesn't require much. You can get away with 10 gigs. Like the Jupyter notebooks that I've been spinning up at all times, I just use 10 gig default settings. So again, use case. If you do, let's say you do text to voice, and you want to have somebody say something. Let's we were going to showcase at Cypherpunk, where you basically have all these audio files from Dan, and then we go through them. Those took up a couple hundred gigs of files, and then you go through them, and at that point, you remake your little bit, which what was it? That he loves gardening and all the things you never hear Dan say.
Yeah,
but trained on things from AMAs and such. So
yeah,
kind of cool.
Well,
and you were saying 2 terabytes, King?
So in my experience with VAST anyways, I have a terabyte on most of my machines. I have a couple 2 terabytes, but it seems like 2 terabytes per GPU to me is something that would sustain you long term, right? I have a couple 1 terabytes that are almost completely empty, and they've been used by the same person, right? They've been rented this whole time.
Yeah, and you probably have noticed that once people use your machine, they kind of tend to stick to it, right?
Yeah.
So they rent it for long periods, or they try to keep re-adding to it, which is basically what I've been saying all along. Don't know if like you might be surprised sometimes they don't use your machine at all, and it just sits there, and all of a sudden you hear the fans go off, and then it back to quiet. But yeah, 2 terabytes. I'm not surprised if. And some people. Okay, so now I put on my system administrator hat, and I'm gonna be the guy who has a lot of budget. At that point, I don't care. Then I look at what's pretty, and what will be pretty is somebody with a lot of memory or a lot of storage available, and then I pick those versus somebody who has. Let's say I have 2 identical machines. One has 2 terabytes. One has 1 terabyte. Guess which one I'll pick?
Yeah,
2 because I'm a human. I go for the bigger numbers. That's the human factor. So also, Bitcoin is just flying now, or what?
Yeah, 36.2.
Good.
I love it right
go.
now. My S19 I cleaned is making me money right now.
So
I got brains on it. I got it down tuned real far. It's actually profitable at my 12 cents right now.
Yeah,
nice.
That is great.
And then to answer the question, December 15 is our deadline to get you the software in your hands.
Max,
no pressure.
What's up, man?
No pressure. Pressure's not on me. Pressure's on the guys who have to build it. I'm just the one yelling at them, like, go faster. No, I mean, the guys are working their butts off, and every time I update, there's something else has changed, or it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
Good
Plus,
stuff.
They're using my machines. My kid was complaining the other day. He's like, when can I get my computer back? Not anytime soon, but sorry.
Not anytime soon.
So,
Well, thank you, Jeff. That was tons of good information, and
Appreciate
super excited. I know everyone in the chat is, and we all here are been trying to pry as much as we can, but I know
always
you guys have that December 15th date, and you did say that there might be something a little bit early, but
I will invite a couple people earlier to test it out.
Definitely checking my DMs, Mr. Jeffy.
Except for Gigavolt trades.
Okay. Yeah. But no, I appreciate it, and King, thanks for coming on too. You know, it's you always got the good questions and everything, and
Always.
I got to see the daily beard, so.
All right. I'm going to drop off, guys.
On, boys.
All right, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
You guys have a good night.
All right, King. But yeah, I think we're gonna.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's nice seeing Bitcoin jump up like this. It's a
good day, man. It's a good day.
Yeah. What's Flux at? 42, I think, probably.
They're going up.
Yeah. Everything's kind of going up a little bit.
Yep. That's the norm, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
As Bitcoin rises, everyone, who's gonna be the top tier follower, right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's looking for.
Yeah. But well, I'm exhausted. I'm still not used to this time change. It's feels like it's midnight to me right now. But
I can imagine.
Yeah, I got a long day tomorrow and everything. But I appreciate everyone stopping by for Wired Wednesdays. And
yes, thank you.
I'm at a hotel this week, and the next Wednesday should be home. I mean, you're hosting, so it doesn't matter. I could be on an airplane. And,
It's like, hey guys, I'm flying. I got free Wi-Fi.
But yeah, no, I should be in town. I don't think I'm going to be traveling a lot more to Melbourne in the next coming weeks. So we have our one of our partners who's sometimes he's in the chat, but he's actually driving to Kansas tomorrow. He's kind of taken over the Kansas operations, and I've kind of taken a lot, more responsibility over in Melbourne, and I'm local here along with Hawk. So
nice.
We just have a lot with this AI stuff, and we have a lot in the background going on. So it is fun. We're having a good time. Yeah.
I think we'll try to we're gonna try to keep on doing this at 8 o'clock since the time change, and it seems to be a little bit better, right? Especially it's Wired Wednesdays. It could be kind of late, but we're gonna try to gauge this and try to do this now for you guys that are watching from 8 o'clock now. So
yeah, I think we're gonna start doing 8 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time and whatever time it is over.
Yeah. Over said it's sad for me to realize I won't get a Lambo this bull run. Just got out of all the debt from last bull run and just recently started accumulating. It's not always about the Lambo. I know that you see a lot of people post on Twitter and everything when everything's going good, but you don't see when everything's going bad.
Right. Yeah.
Keep the eye on the prize and keep it accumulating, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Billy the Kid, Wired Wednesdays. It is Wired Wednesdays, Billy. Max. Sunflower Mom said it's 1 hour. I know, Max. It just feels like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we live in a matrix here, because it was 1 hour, but I swear, the sun moved in the sky and it just gets darker. You know what I mean? Because the sun shoots through one window in my house when I'm at my computer, and it just seems like the world flipped or something. I don't know what it is. I gotta get back. I gotta get used to it. It's gonna take a couple days. Brian Hollywood, GPURisers, love the upgrades to your stream center. Thank you so much. I built out the whole room behind me. I put some rocks on the walls and redid the ceiling and everything.
The Egyptian room.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Go said, not all about the Lambo, but it's always about the Jeep Gladiator. Yeah. We did have some cool Jeeps show up to Cypherpunk. And the Rivian electric truck, that thing was ridiculous. But well, lots of fun, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be on Dave's channel next week when Bitcoin is at 40,000. No, I'm just kidding. But
wow, that would be great, huh?
Who knows? We'll see.
You never know.
You never know. But all right, guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later, guys.